Welcome back to the Girl Out of Order podcast. I am recording this episode with such a full heart, and you are going to be so thankful that you have joined me today because right now I am in such a beautiful state. I am in a state of incredible gratitude, deep awareness, and I'm going to make up a word here, fired upness to help you think differently about your next 12 months. That's right. You have joined me for the episode called Who Do You Want to Be in 12 Months? Oh, before I dive into the most beautiful experience that I had this weekend, I just have a favor to ask of you. I am growing the Girl Out of Order podcast, and I am growing the Girl Out of Order community on Facebook. But you know what's missing? You. That sounded so cheesy, but it's just how it came out. But it's true. We're missing you. We need you in our community. At the end of most of my episodes, when I remember, I always say the world needs what only you can provide, uniquely you. And the same goes for our Girl Out of Order community. So come on in and join us in Facebook. We need your wisdom. We need your insights. We need your authenticity. And we're growing by leaps and bounds. So head on over there and click join. And if you would, please help me grow this podcast. Please leave a review wherever you listen to this episode. Take a picture of this episode, share it with somebody that you care about, that you know will benefit from the message of what it means to be a girl out of order, what it means to embrace the beautiful, freeing truth that not fitting in is the perfect fit. And I appreciate all of your support. Okay, so now let's get to the topic at hand. I was kind of wrestling, to be honest, with what I wanted to talk about this week. And I was thinking about, I could talk about this topic and, that's interesting. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that could benefit from that. And then I had the greatest experience. Oh, I tell you, what I learned this weekend was so much more than what I taught this weekend. And that's what I want to speak with you about. I want to speak directly to your heart. I want to speak to your weary soul. I want to speak to the woman who feels stuck where she is and yet unsure of where she's going. Is that you? Have you forgotten what you even love? What you want, what you desire, or maybe you know those things, but you have no clue how to get there. Well, you're not alone. I'm sure there are millions of women that are in that position. And I got to tell you, that has been me so many times in my life. And I had an experience this weekend. I'm going to cry. My goodness. Getting a little emotional. I had an experience this weekend that reminded me that it's not necessarily about where we're going, what we're doing, or what we're achieving. It is all about who we are becoming. And I talked about this in a recent episode, becoming the she that you're seeking. And that was all about my revelations and my realization that I needed to become the woman that I wanted to draw to myself, the woman I wanted in my life. And when I became more like her, she started appearing and friendships started blossoming. So here's the thing with what I want to talk about today. I had an experience this weekend to do an identity workshop with my second daughter, Chelsea's college soccer team. And if you're on YouTube, you can see I've got goofy little ponytails, and I've got my University of Wisconsin lacrosse hat. I'm sporting my soccer tank top, and I'm not going to admit that I am still really, really sweaty. It was a beautiful weekend. It was Parents' Weekend, the kickoff of my daughter's final soccer season. Oh my gosh, even saying that out loud is emotional. There's a lot of change on the horizon, but that's not even what this is about. But on Girl Out of Order, we show up real, right? We show up raw. And this is real, raw emotion of a mama who has embarked along with her daughter on the final chapter of what has, in many respects, defined a large part of her childhood. And so it was Parents' Weekend, which is always so much fun. I, as you probably are not surprised, am a bit of a social butterfly. I love meeting people. I love welcoming new parents in. I really, really love connecting with my other soccer mamas and some soccer dads too. And I want to leave them out. But just getting back on the pitch and feeling the energy and all of the warm-up music and the laughter of the women. And oh my gosh, I love every freaking part of it. But 12 months ago, I, on a whim, texted my daughter's coach and I said, "Hey coach, I have an idea. If you'll have me, I would love to come on Parents' Weekend during preseason and teach an identity workshop to the women. What do you think?" And I hit send and I literally was like, how do I unsend this? How? Oh my gosh, how do I unsend this? What have I done? What have I done? Because here's the deal. I wasn't even building the airplane while I was flying. I hadn't even made it to the airport. So I put this out there in the universe thinking he's going to say no. He's going to say no. It's all going to be okay. He's going to very graciously decline because Coach Murphy is amazing and kind and generous and would never want to tell me, crazy girl, I don't want you doing that. It was less than 24 hours and he's like, absolutely, let's make this happen. And I remember getting his text and thinking, this is the most exciting and terrifying thing I have ever done. What did I just do? So here we are in August of 2023, and I just put this out there having no idea what I was going to do. And I was like, oh, not only have I never spoken or taught, but this is my daughter's team. What if I embarrass her? And then the whole parade of what ifs just going in my head. And I was thinking, this is either going to be amazing or this is going to be a dumpster fire. And I was thinking to myself, I really hope God gives me some inspiration because I committed to something that I didn't really know the details of. Did you hear that? I committed to something without knowing all of the details. And if you know anything about me, you know that that's way out of my comfort zone. That's like akin to me being first in line to go on the tallest, scariest, most backwardest roller coaster ever. It's just never going to happen. But see, I am creating and recreating this identity for myself where I take chances, where I lean into uncertainty, and where I make decisions from the centeredness I feel in the purpose I know I have for my one beautiful life. And I know that I am destined to teach women about identity. I don't know the details, sisters. I didn't know a damn thing that I was going to teach, except that I knew it was about identity. I knew I loved these women, and I knew I wanted to make my daughters proud because my oldest daughter goes to school there too and was going to be in that room. That was enough. So why am I sharing this with you? Well, because this weekend I got to give the sequel workshop to these incredible women And I was not the same woman that I was last August. So who do you want to be in 12 months? If you searched on podcasts or asked ChatGPT or Googled or whatever your method or mode is for getting information, how to achieve your goals in 12 months, how to lose weight in 12 months, how to make $1 million in 12 months. There's a lot of how-tos to set goals for your next 12 months. And those are incredibly valuable. But what I'm here to talk to you about today, sisters, is not about what you can do, achieve, build, make, earn. I'm here to challenge you to think about, who do you want to be in 12 months? What if we started setting goals of the kind of woman that we see ourselves being in August of 2025? That was my big aha moment this weekend when I taught this workshop. So let's rewind again to August of 2023. I got super duper sick the week before the workshop. And so I was writing out my workshop by hand the day before, praying to God, the universe. I even brought in Mother Nature. I didn't care. I was throwing it all against the wall for some inspiration. But again, what I had was, I knew who I was. I knew what I valued. And I knew what I was passionate about. And that was enough. And the workshop that I was able to deliver to Chelsea's team in August of 2023 changed me forever. I could talk and talk and talk about what that workshop did for those young women, and Coach Murphy, who had tears just streaming down his face. And that's beautiful. And I carry that within my heart. I do. But what I'm here to really talk to you about today is about taking action to become the woman you see yourself as in 12 months. Because when I took that crazy, uncertain, that action of sending that Coach Murphy that text and just saying, hey, can I just give this workshop? Thinking, oh God, I don't even know what I'm doing. If I hadn't taken a chance on myself, I wouldn't have started the change process that has taken place inside this woman in the last 12 months. You see, 12 months ago, I was nearly vomiting, walking over to the classroom to give this talk. I didn't know what I was going to say. I wasn't sure I was going to show up. I didn't know how they'd react. I was so nervous and unsure, like a brand new baby giraffe trying to stand up and walk, and I was falling. And yes, okay, fine. The workshop was an amazing success, but that's not what I'm celebrating here today, because what that action did for me as a woman is it opened my eyes to the iceberg tip sticking out of the water of my potential. And I thought, aha, there's something here. And it's bigger and better and brighter than I ever dreamed. I want more of that woman in my life. And I remember walking back from the workshop, holding my husband's hand, I guess just one. I didn't hold them both because that would be kind of weird and awkward. Holding my husband's hand. And I said to him through tears, I said, I want to feel like that for the rest of my life. Notice I didn't say I want to do that or achieve that. I want to feel like that for the rest of my life. Because by taking a chance on myself and leaning into what I did know about myself and about my passion, about my mission, that I knew I was about identity, and I wanted to inspire young women to never again spend a moment contorting their beautiful self to fit molds they were never designed for. I created Girl Out of Order for me, because I needed to never waste another moment chiseling my edges so others feel more comfortable. And I knew that enough to be able to step out and take a chance to teach it to these young women. And in doing so, I found out more about me. I found out not just that I have potential, but that my passion ran way deeper than even I imagined. And I discovered that I can do what I love and feel more alive and purpose-driven than I've ever felt in my life. And so what happened after that workshop is it made me hungry. It didn't just make me hungry to do more speaking and teaching and leading and all that's beautiful. It made me hungry for more of the woman that showed up in that workshop. Because here's the deal. As women, we can take a couple steps forward and then somebody will say something, or we'll all of a sudden get a little itchy and uncomfortable and we'll go, oh, never mind. And then we shrink back down. We're like turtles that stick our limbs out, our head out, and look around. And then when it gets a little scary and a little uncertain, we pull them right back in. And that happens, especially if we don't stay curious, if we don't stay active, if we don't stay connected, if we don't get the coaching, the helping, the mentoring, the accountability, the relationships that keep us fired up and pushing to what's next. I was telling my friend Zakil tonight, I said, I think back to that woman who gave this workshop 12 months ago, and I love her so much. I am so grateful for her. I honor her. And when I look in the mirror, I don't see her, because I have become a different woman in the last 12 months because I leaned into my own identity work and I expanded her. And taking that chance and putting myself out there and believing enough in my mission and purpose and knowing my value enough, just enough, sisters. It was just a whiff. I don't want you to think that when I put this text out there to Coach Murphy, I was like, oh, I got this. This is great. You'll be so lucky to have me. Oh, no. I was tired of talking about identity work and not doing it. I was exhausted from talking about a purpose, but not taking action on a mission. And it was in doing that I got hungry to know more about her. Where did that woman come from? Where did that tigress, that beautiful goddess, that woman who channeled truth to these young women and gave them tools and strategies and inspiration I never had at that age. Where did she come from? How do I get more of her? How do I know her better? How do I fan the flames of this beautiful woman? And so I got brave. And I'm like, I want more. Okay, what did I do? This is what you do. Sisters, if you want to become a certain woman in 12 months, stay curious, do the work, and take the chances. Because I got really curious about that woman that showed up that day. I saw flashes of a woman I wanted more of. And then I continued to take chances. I applied to become a senior mentor for Unleash Your Power Within, and I stepped into leadership, like genuine leadership, for the first time in my life. I truly felt called to be a leader, and I was so nervous. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I loved this community. I knew I trusted KK and Aaron, and I knew the women I was serving alongside were going to change me forever. So what I did is I took steps to get connected. I put myself out there and I ran Power 5 Plus meetings. I never knew who was going to show up. I never knew what I was going to say, but I knew that I wanted to be actively engaged in identity work, and I wanted to be connected to other like-hearted women who were going where I wanted to go. And so I started taking step after step and grabbing nuggets and learning and growing and changing and asking questions of people that I knew would tell me the truth. Hey, do I need to grow in this area? What do you see about me? What can I grow in? How can I be better? That thing I said didn't feel quite right. Did you feel off with that? How could I have said that better? I started asking more questions, getting interested. And then here's the other thing, and I know this isn't for everybody, but please listen up. I made decisions about what I invested my money in. I made decisions about coaching. I made decisions about doing the True Voice Intensive, and I know that's not for everyone, but it was aligned with where I knew I was going and the woman I wanted to become. I knew that I needed to invest in myself. And maybe it's not in the cards for you right now, but if you know that there's a woman you want to be in 12 months, you better start investing in her, because she's right there waiting for you. So you can get 10 more boxes from Amazon. You can get, I don't know, name it. You can take another vacation. All those are great things. Please don't misunderstand me. But if you are not investing in your own growth, and it can be free. There's so much free content on the internet right now. So many amazing people to follow. But if you are not investing in your own growth, don't expect to just arrive 12 months from now and become the woman that you're dreaming about today. You have to be actively engaged in this identity creation. You have to be actively engaged in this values development. You have to be actively engaged in reaching for and grabbing after that amazing woman that you're envisioning. So this weekend, I'm still in state, so it's really emotional. I got to speak to these incredible young women again about identity. And they taught me so much. I wasn't sure what I was going to say. I had pages and pages and pages of notes. And I think I looked at them once. Because when I got in that room and I looked at all of these incredible young faces from 18 to 22, I thought, Christine, give them as much information and as many tools as you can. Wake them up so they don't end up at 50 years old looking in the mirror at a complete stranger. Is that you? Do you know who you are? You can be actively engaged in becoming the woman you're envisioning 12 months out. I had these young women at the end, after a lot of incredible back and forth and input. It was a conversation, not just me teaching or yapping at them. It was pulling out information from these young women and helping them see themselves and what they have to offer. But at the end, I had them all stand up and put their hands on their beautiful hearts. And if you're part of the Tony Robbins community or Lauren LaHave community, or even Brendon Burchard, you're probably familiar with a lot of these tools, these personal development tools. But you know what I realized? The vast majority of humans are not. They don't know it. They've never heard it. And I could tell by watching all these beautiful women holding their hearts and breathing in deeply. And I'm asking them to look into the future self. And I asked them, I'm closing my own eyes because I'm going back there and re-experiencing it. I asked them to look 3 months in the future because that's the end of their season. No, I'm sorry. That's the end of their regular season because they are going to the Final Four this year. Damn it. And I asked them to picture who they want themselves to be in 3 months. What kind of person do they want to become? What kind of values do they want to anchor in? Who do they know themselves to be? How do they want to speak to her and speak about her? And then I had them sit down and write a letter to their future self, 3 months in the future, just 3 months. I think I held up 4 fingers. Forgive me if you're on YouTube. I promise I can count. And these beautiful young men were just writing and writing and writing and writing. And then I had them seal it up and give it to Coach. And Coach is going to give those letters to them right before the national soccer tournament. And I said to them, we are not human doings. We are human beings. And if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to make the impact you dream about, if you want to have the relationship of your dreams, if you want to have a vibrant friend group, become the woman you dream of. Don't just focus on the how, focus on the who. So I ask you, sisters, who do you want to become in the next 12 months? Because 12 months ago, I was so insecure about my ability to speak, teach, lead, and inspire. I was nervous to the point I wanted to throw up. I had a very embryonic vision of being a speaker, and I had never been a leader. And here I am 12 months later. And even though I still had some last minute preparation, because that's just how Christine rolls, I was so anchored in to my purpose and so focused on the message I knew these women needed to hear. And I trust so deeply my intuition. I believe so deeply in my mission to serve women and teach them about identity that I didn't walk into that room. I mean, yeah, okay, I was a little bit nervous because why not? But I didn't walk into that room. No, let me say it a different way. I strutted my ass in that room and I walked in there like the super freaking woman I am because I knew I was there for a purpose. I knew God was going to show up and give me exactly what I needed to teach these women. And I believed that I freaking belonged in that position. And that is amazing. And I'm sorry if you just heard a FaceTime call go on because that's the joys of live recording. But I want to say that one more time. I was anchored in. I knew my purpose. I was grounded in my mission. And that did not happen by accident. So sisters, who do you want to be in the next 12 months? What does she look like? How does she stand? How does she breathe? How does she talk? How does she walk? How does she think? How does she speak about herself? When I look back 12 months ago, I cannot believe the progress I've made as a woman. Not about getting my first speaking talk, engagement, not about winning the ruby slippers, not about growing my podcast. All of that's beautiful, but all of that is an outgrowth of becoming the woman I'm so proud to be today. So I say to you, are you ready to embark on the journey? Because you got one beautiful life, sister. One beautiful, gorgeous, vibrant, amazing freaking life. Who do you want to be? In 12 months, when you look back, you will look back on the woman today with love and tenderness, and you will bid her adieu because you will have grown into this incredible version of you. If you show up, believe, and do the work. Thank you so much for joining me today. This message is straight from the heart. I hope you can feel that, because I am very proud of the woman I've become in the last 12 months. I've got work to do. I am always going to be growing, changing, evolving. I've still got a lot of never going to stop reaching for more, growing, deepening my understanding and my ability to lead others, and the way I love my husband. Like, there's always going to be things to work on. And I'm celebrating. I feel so grateful for the work, for the wisdom, for the friendships, and for this one beautiful life I'm building. How about you? I love you so much. I believe in you. And like I said earlier, sister, the world needs what only you can provide. So don't deprive us. We're waiting. I'll see you next time.